Investors are buying the dip after Friday's market tumble. It's Monday, 4th of August, and here's what you need to know. So Friday was the S&P 500's worst day since May, but stock futures are edging back up. Traders are taking some courage from the higher odds of rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. The market now sees 60 basis points of cuts this year, nearly twice as much as it did on Friday morning. Our number of the day is 83%. That's the chance of a September rate cut, according to Fed futures markets. Of course, that's after Friday's labour report showed the US economy added 258,000 fewer jobs in May and June than had been initially reported. That means the last 3 months were the worst quarter for job growth since the height of the pandemic in 2020. President Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics on Friday. He could pick someone else for that job in the next couple of days, but his involvement does raise questions about the credibility of US economic data in the future. Our chart of the day is the price of oil. That's lower this Monday after OPEC Plus countries announced they'll pump an extra 547,000 barrels of oil a day for September. That's after a few years when OPEC Plus countries have cut their production to try and keep the price higher. Oil markets are wondering if the US will follow through on threats to impose secondary tariffs on countries like India that are buying Russian oil. A top Trump official accused India of financing the war in Ukraine at the weekend. India says it won't stop buying Russian oil, but those secondary sanctions could push the price of oil up. Among last week's avalanche of tariffs was a surprise 39% for Switzerland. Cartier owner Richemont was one of the biggest stock fallers in Europe this morning. Swiss watches and luxury goods are particularly exposed to tariffs. 20% of Swiss watch exports go to the US. The Trump administration says last week's tariff rates are final. And our stock of the day is Boeing. More than 3,000 staff who assemble fighter jets in Missouri and Illinois are walking off the job today after rejecting a contract offer. Last year, Boeing faced a 7-week strike by more than 10 times as many staff, and CEO Kelly Ortberg says the company isn't worried about this one. And that's what you need to know this morning.